Hello guys and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to show you how I was able to take an 8-hour trade. So this is my very first 8-hour trade. I have never took such high RR trade in my entire trading journey. So this is something for me. This is something special, and it wasn't because of luck. It wasn't because of greed. Right? I didn't keep moving my TP further and further. No, this was based on a lot of backtesting and a lot of refinement of my own strategy in order for me to come up with a process to find a high RR trade. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, right? So make sure to leave a like and let's get started. So as you can see, the trade was from here. It was on the 15-second time frame, right? And the entry was here, stop loss here, and I targeted this. And I'm gonna show you what is this level later on, right? So as you can see, a rejection from it. After I saw the break of this high, this one right here, I put my stop loss to break even, and it was either now TP or a break-even trade. I'm not gonna move it or trail my stop loss anymore, right? So let's get started with the analysis on TradingView. So in order for you to take high RR trades, you only need two things. Only two things. The first one, and it is the most important one, which is patience. You need to be patient. You need to be very, very selective on which levels that you're gonna take a trade on. And I'm going to show you that later on how to choose levels. But the most important factor is to be patient and wait for that level to get hit. You might see a lot of opportunities in the chart, but you need to wait for that specific level to get hit in order for you to take that high RR trade. Of course, there are other levels that you can take quick scalps from, but let's focus on taking high RR trades and which levels you need to focus on. So the first thing is patience. The second thing is you need to be 100% aligned with the higher time frame. If you are not sure about the higher time frame, that's not a valid trade. There is no tolerance right here. If you are not sure about the higher time frame, you're gonna get a lot of break-evens, right? And maybe stop losses. So the higher time frame needs to be perfectly aligned with the lower time frame, right? That's the second thing. And now let's get started with how you can choose the best levels and to be aligned with the higher time frame, right? So let's do our higher time frame analysis first. And you're going to see that there is a lot of sweeps and zones, and that's it. You only need sweeps and zones regarding the technical analysis. So let's go for, first of all, on the 1 hour time frame. So you need to be aligned with the trend, first of all. The trend, all right? From here, on the 1 hour, we can see that we are clearly in an uptrend, right? We can see that here we were in a downtrend. And then we broke structure here. And here we were on a downtrend for a pullback, right? Topping into the 50% of this zone right here. And then now we are in an uptrend. Now this is the pullback, and we tapped into an important area, which is the SNDR right here, the zone responsible for breaking the last high, which is this one. I hope you can see, but let's zoom in for a bit, right? So you can see clearly. So right here, this was the last high, right? And this is the zone that was responsible for breaking this high right here, the previous high, this one right here, right? So we have an important level that could reject price, and we also know that in an uptrend, price is sweeping lows and failing to close below lows, right? And closing with body closures above previous highs, right? Sweeping and failing to close below lows and making new highs with body closure, right? So what happened right here? So what happened right here? We closed above the previous high. Now we are in a downtrend. And what happened? We tapped into an important level right here. We swept the low. This is a very important low. You can see this low on every time frame, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. And it is also the last low, right? So here we don't have pretty much anything. The last low was here and it already took liquidity. So we have this low right here, but it is not that obvious. But we have this obvious low, right? And below it there is a zone. So this is like a really high probable low that we can sweep it and continue to the upside, right? By practice and learning and reading price, you're gonna start recognizing these patterns. You can recognize which lows are important. Like for example, do you think that this low, for example, is important, or this or this? Or do you think that this low is important? Which one is obvious? Clearly it was this one. Here's another one. Which one do you think that is a high probable high to be swept? Is it this one right here? Right, so let me zoom in. Or do you think it is this one, right? It's obviously this one right here. So with the same logic, we're gonna anticipate a sweep from this one right here. So price swept it and rejected from it, right? This is our model. And we have a CSS above it here with this candle. So this candle is the one responsible for the sweep. And we close above it here with body closure. And if we go to the lower time frame, this is going to be something like this. A simple market structure shift. So let's go to the 15-minute. So here you go. A market structure shift. Not that obvious, but we're going to see it clearly on the 1 minute or the 5-minute time frame, right? So after the market structure shift happened here, as you can see, we have a couple of sweeps here. We put in this high, right? So now we are now changing from a downtrend to an uptrend, right? So when we are changing into a downtrend to an uptrend, and we have the market structure shift and price raise to here. Now, in your opinion, where is the high, or where is the target? What is the next target? It's going to be this one right here. In an uptrend, this is going to be the high, the next high to be taken. So this is the target, right? And this is why I put a line right here. This is the next target. This whole move, this is just a pullback, right? This, and eventually the target is going to be this high right here. So here we have a couple of sweeps. We swept this low, traded to here, another sweep, traded to here, another sweep, the final sweep, sweeping this low right here, right? So now let's move on to the 5 minute. So as you can see, after the sweep of this low, we had a huge rejection. So as you can see here, we have a sweep of this low and then failing to close above the high that put in this low, right? So we can see that we have a rejection, sweeping this and also failing to close above the high. This was a failure in the 15-minute time frame, right? All the wicks. But here, as you can see, after the sweep of this, we have a displacement, an obvious break of structure with this big candle right here. This is something that we didn't see in the previous sweeps. So this tells you that the pullback is over and now we are moving to the next high, right? You can see that we are reading the higher time frame only, right? And there is nothing complicated right here, only market structure, highs and lows, right? And now let's talk about this fractal right here. Let's go to the 1 minute in order for us to talk about this. So price pulled back into the previous zone, right? And it is also the SNDR, the one responsible for breaking this high, right? Which is this zone right here, and rejected heavily from it and created another high, right? Here we had some consolidation, right? Some consolidation right here. And then the final break of structure. Now, if you want to take buys, of course, you need to wait for the pullback, and the best buys, the best long opportunities can be found after price sweeps a low, right? Remember that in an uptrend, right? I'm going to repeat this. In an uptrend, price sweeps lows in order to start a new expansion. And we have seen it a lot of times here in the 1 hour, in the weekly, right? You can go back to the weekly and see the sweep that caused this whole move to the upside, right? So here, when price was trading to the downside, pulling back, what lows do we have in order for us to look for sweeps below them? We have this low. Let me change the color right here. We have this low, and we also have this low right here. We have also this low right here. But you can see that this low mitigated almost 100% of this previous zone. So there is no chance, I'm not going to say no chance, no. There is low probability of price coming back all the way to here to sweep this and then trade to the upside. But between these three lows, which one do you think? And also we have this low right here, let's not forget it. Between these four lows, which one do you think that it is the one that when price sweep it is likely to expand to the next high? The one that has the best probability of rejecting heavily and creating a new high. Do you think it is this low? Right? Unlikely. We have a lot of smooth edges below it. We have this one. This one is also obvious. Now, do you think that it is this low? Yes, maybe, right? But if we really want to make sure that when the sweep happens, price is likely to make a new high, it's gonna be the final low, which is right here, and it is also near important levels like the 50% of the previous zone or the current zone, right? So if we look at it in terms of liquidity, right, we can see that these are all smooth edges or low resistance liquidity, right? Smooth edges, trend line liquidity. So this is why I said patience earlier. The best sweeps is going to happen, or the best rejections after sweeps is going to happen when price clears everything in its way. And this is what I was waiting for. Yes, you can get quick scalps from here. Yes, you can get few points, but this is the level that you can get the most points out of it, right? And if you see a rejection from the final low, this is going to be really high probable. And I have collected a lot of examples in order for me to have the confidence to take this trade. You know me that most of my trades are 2R, maximum 3R, but a lot of them are only 1.5R or something like that, right? So I had to collect a lot of examples and to study really this concept in order for me to identify lows or highs that can reject price heavily and make a new high or a new low. So after price sweeps the final low that we want to take a trade from, now it is the refinement process, which is basically moving lower in the time frames until we see a body closure. When you see a body closure, go back to the previous time frame. Like for example, this is a 1 minute. So I did a video about that. The 1 minute we have a sweep. Let's see now if the 30-second have a sweep. If it has a sweep, go to the 15. If the 15-second has a sweep, has only wicks, go to the 5. If the 5 has body closure, go back to the 15-second. It is a simple concept. So on the 15-second, this is the final low, right? You can see that we have all the wicks, and this is the candle that caused the sweep, which is this candle right here, and we have a body closure above it. And as I told you before, this is a simple market structure shift. So let me go back to So here you go. That candle that we outlined earlier, right? It started from this. This was the high of that candle. You can see that on the lower time frame, it is a market structure shift, right? A simple market structure shift. And after the pullback, the next target is the high right here, right? So this is why I'm taking and I'm considering the break of the candle that caused the sweep is the market structure shift on the lower time frame. So took my entry from the 30%, right? And my target is, if we go to here, we have the high that put in the low, but I targeted this. All of these highs right here, you can see, obvious liquidity, obvious target, these highs right here. A lot of highs, right? Smooth edges, just like we saw here between these lows. It is the same happening here, right? So let's extend this. So I took my entry or my TP here. So here you go. This was almost 8-hour trade, not exactly 7.5, something like that, but it was textbook and pretty much the best trade that I have taken so far since I started my journey with DTFX concept. So I believe that this right here is the end of this video. If you have any questions, any kind of questions, leave them down in the comment or DM in my Twitter account and I will reply to you as soon as I can. Now, happy trading and good luck.